My name is Emily. I am 28 years old. This is my story. It is a sad story, but it has a good ending, I think. My wedding dress was hanging in my closet. It was beautiful, so white and long, with little pearls on the sleeves. I touched it every morning when I woke up. It felt like a dream. I was so excited to wear it. In 1 week, I was going to marry Liam. I loved him very much. We lived in a small apartment in a quiet city. Our apartment was not big, but it was our home. We had a small balcony with 2 chairs. We liked to drink coffee there on Sunday mornings. We painted the walls a soft blue color. Liam was good at painting. I was not. I got more paint on myself than on the wall. He laughed and called me his little blue miss. I loved his laugh. It was warm and deep. It made me feel safe. I met Liam 3 years ago at a friend's party. I was very shy then. I stood in a corner holding my cup. He walked over to me. He had a big, friendly smile. His eyes were the color of the sky. "You look a little lost," he said. I was. I felt lost in many ways in my life then. But I just smiled and said, "A little." We talked for hours that night. He was easy to talk to. He listened. He really listened to my words. He made me feel important. After that night, we were always together. Our life was simple and happy. We cooked dinner together. He was a good cook. I was good at washing the dishes. We watched movies on our old sofa. We held hands when we walked in the park. He was my best friend. He was my whole world. After 2 years, he asked me to marry him. We were on our little balcony. The sun was setting. The sky was orange and pink. He got down on one knee. He had a small box. Inside was a simple, beautiful ring. My heart felt like it was going to burst. I cried happy tears. I said yes, of course. I said yes. Planning the wedding was fun. A little stressful, but mostly fun. My best friend, Jessica, helped me. We chose the flowers, white roses and baby's breath. Simple and pretty. We chose the cake, vanilla with strawberry filling. Liam's favorite. We sent out the invitations. Small cards with our names in gold letters. Everything felt so perfect. Too perfect, maybe. Liam had a past. We all do. His past had a name. Sarah. She was his college girlfriend. They were together for a long time. He told me about her when we started dating. "It was a long time ago, Emily," he said. "It's over. She broke my heart, but I healed." I believed him. He said she moved to another city, far away. He said they didn't talk anymore. Sometimes I felt a little insecure. She was a big part of his life. But he always told me, "You are my future. She is my past." So I pushed the feeling away. I trusted him. About a month before the wedding, something changed. It was a small change. So small, I almost didn't notice. Liam became quieter. He looked at his phone more often. He would smile at his phone, a secret smile. When I asked who he was texting, he would say, "Just a friend from work." Or, "My mom." I didn't want to be a jealous girlfriend, so I said okay. But a small seed of worry was planted in my heart. He started working late more often. A big project at work, he said. It will be over after the wedding. I wanted to support him, so I made him late dinners. I told him not to work too hard. But when he came home, he seemed distant. He didn't hug me in the same way. His hugs felt empty. He was there in my arms, but he felt far away. One evening, he was in the shower. His phone was on the coffee table. It buzzed. A message came on the screen. I didn't want to look. I knew it was wrong. But the worry in my heart was too strong. I just glanced at it. It was from a name I didn't know. The message said, "I miss hearing your voice. Today was hard without you." My blood went cold. My hands started to shake. Who was this? Why did they miss his voice? When he came out of the shower, I couldn't look at him. I felt sick. "Is everything okay, Em?" he asked. He tried to hug me. I stepped back. "I'm just tired," I lied. The lie felt heavy in my mouth. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed next to him. He was sleeping peacefully, but I was wide awake. Who was he talking to? Was I crazy? Was I imagining things? I wanted to believe it was all a mistake. The week before the wedding was busy. We had so many last-minute things to do. Picking up his suit, confirming the music. I tried to push my worries away. I told myself it was just wedding stress. Everything was fine. Liam was just tired from work. I was just being silly and insecure. I tried so hard to believe this. Then came the day. The day my world fell apart. It was a Tuesday, 7 days before our wedding. I came home from work early. I was excited. I wanted to cook his favorite meal. I walked into our apartment. Liam was sitting on the sofa. He was not watching TV. He was just staring at the wall. The room was dark. He hadn't turned on any lights. "Liam," I said softly, "are you okay?" He looked up at me. His eyes were red. He had been crying. My heart stopped. "What's wrong?" I asked. I rushed over and sat next to him. "Did something happen at work? Is your family okay?" He just shook his head. He wouldn't look at me. He looked down at his hands. "Emily," he said. His voice was a whisper. "We need to talk." Those 4 words. Everyone knows those 4 words are bad. "Okay," I said. My voice was shaking. "Talk to me, Liam. You're scaring me." He took a deep breath. It was a shaky breath. "I can't do this," he said. "I can't marry you." The words didn't make sense. It felt like he was speaking a different language. What do you mean?" I asked. I think I laughed a little. A nervous, scared laugh. "Is this a joke? It's not funny." "It's not a joke," he said. He finally looked at me. And in his eyes, I saw so much pain, so much guilt. "I'm so sorry, Emily." "Why?" I whispered. My throat felt tight. "Why, Liam? I don't understand. We are getting married in 1 week. The dress is ready. Our families are coming." "I know," he said. Tears started to fall down his face. "I know. I'm a terrible person, the worst person. Just tell me why, I begged. And then he said the name from his past, the name I had tried to forget. It's Sarah, he said. She came back. My whole body went numb. I couldn't feel my hands. I couldn't feel my feet. Sarah, of course. It was always her. What do you mean she came back? I asked. She moved back to the city a month ago, he explained. She contacted me. She said she made a mistake. She said she never stopped loving me. He was talking fast now, the words tumbling out of him. We met for coffee, just to talk. I wanted to tell her about you, about the wedding. I wanted to have closure. But when I saw her, Emily, all the old feelings came back. I felt like I was going to be sick. He met her, behind my back. While I was at home, planning our future, he was meeting his ex-girlfriend. You met her? I whispered in disbelief. A few times, he admitted, looking ashamed. I didn't want to hurt you. I was confused. I thought I could push the feelings away. I thought I could still marry you. I tried. I really tried. Because I do love you, Emily. I do. But I'm not in love with you. I'm still in love with her. There it was. The truth. The most painful truth I had ever heard. He loved me, but he was in love with her. I wasn't the one. I was just the one who was here. The one who was safe. The one who wasn't Sarah. The tears started to fall down my face. Hot, silent tears. I couldn't speak. What was there to say? My heart was broken into a million tiny pieces. I am so sorry, he kept saying, over and over. I never wanted to hurt you. You are the kindest person I know. You deserve so much better than this. I finally found my voice. It was a small, broken voice. So what now? I asked. He couldn't meet my eyes. I'm leaving, he said. I'm going to stay with a friend. I already packed a bag. I looked over at the bedroom door. A suitcase was standing there. He had already decided. He had already packed. He had planned to leave me before I even walked through the door. The pain was so sharp, I could barely breathe. He was my fiancé, my best friend, my home. And he was walking away. 1 week before our wedding. For her. I didn't scream. I didn't shout. I was too broken for that. I just sat on the sofa in our blue-walled living room. I watched him stand up. He walked to the door. He picked up his suitcase. He paused for a moment. He looked back at me. Goodbye, Emily, he whispered. And then he was gone. The door clicked shut. And the silence he left behind was the loudest sound I had ever heard. I sat there for a long time. I don't know how long. An hour? 2 hours. The sky outside turned from blue to black. I didn't move. I just stared at the closed door. My beautiful wedding dress was hanging in the closet. The white roses were ordered. Our families had bought their plane tickets. And he was gone. My perfect life was a lie. It was all a lie. And I was alone. The first few hours after he left are a blur. I remember sitting on the sofa, wrapped in a blanket. The apartment felt so big and empty without him. Every little sound made me jump. I kept thinking he would walk back through the door. He would say it was all a horrible mistake, but the door stayed closed. The silence was my only companion. I finally called Jessica, my best friend. My fingers were trembling so much, I could barely hold the phone. When she answered, I couldn't speak. I just started to cry. Deep, painful sobs. The kind that shake your whole body. "Emily, what's wrong?" "What happened?" she asked, her voice full of panic. "He's gone," I managed to say between sobs. "Liam is gone." She didn't ask any more questions. She just said, "I'm coming over. Don't move. I'll be there in 10 minutes. When she arrived, she found me on the sofa, still wrapped in the blanket. She took one look at my face and pulled me into a hug. I cried into her shoulder for a long time. She just held me. She rubbed my back. She didn't say, "I told you so." She didn't say, "He's a jerk." She just let me cry. Sometimes, that is the best thing a friend can do. Just be there. The next day was the hardest. The sun came up. The world kept moving, but my world had stopped. I had to start canceling the wedding. It felt like a nightmare. I had to call my parents, telling my mom was awful. She cried with me on the phone. "Oh, my sweet girl," she said. "I am so sorry." She was angry at Liam, very angry, but she tried to be strong for me. Then I had to call the guests, the friends, the family. Every phone call was the same. "Hi, it's Emily. I'm calling about the wedding. It's not happening." Then the shocked silence. Then the questions. "What happened? Are you okay?" I had to repeat the story over and over. "He left me. He's still in love with his ex." Saying the words out loud made it feel more real and more painful. Each time I said it, a little piece of my heart broke again. The worst call was to the wedding venue. The beautiful place with the big garden where we were supposed to say our vows. The woman on the phone was kind, but she had to talk about money, about deposits, about contracts. I didn't care about the money. I just wanted the pain to stop. Jessica stayed with me for 3 days. She made me eat just a little bit of toast, a small bowl of soup. She made me drink water. She answered my phone when I couldn't. She was my rock, my hero. I don't know what I would have done without her. When she had to go back to work, I was alone in the apartment again. But something was different. The first shock was over. Now, there was just a deep, heavy sadness and anger. So much anger. How could he do this to me? How could he be so cruel? How could he throw away our 3 years? For someone who had already broken his heart once. I saw his face everywhere. In the photos on the wall. In the coffee mug he used every morning. In the pillow next to me in our bed. Everything in the apartment reminded me of him. Of us. I couldn't stand it. So I started to pack. I got a big cardboard box. I took down all our photos. The one from our first trip to the beach. The one from Christmas with my family. I put them all in the box. I packed away his books, his favorite sweater that he left behind. I closed the box and pushed it into a closet. I needed to erase him. I needed to breathe again. The hardest thing to look at was the wedding dress. It was still hanging in my closet. So beautiful, so full of promises. Promises that were now broken. I couldn't look at it. I took it down, still in its protective bag. I didn't know what to do with it. I couldn't throw it away. I couldn't sell it. So I just laid it gently on the floor of the closet and shut the door. Out of sight, but not out of my mind. The weeks after that were a gray fog. I went to work. I worked at a small bookstore. I tried to act normal. I smiled at customers. I put books on shelves. But inside, I felt hollow, empty. My colleagues knew what happened. They were kind. They gave me space. They didn't ask too many questions. I was thankful for that. I didn't eat much. I didn't sleep well. I lost weight. My friends worried about me. My mom called me every day. "Are you eating, honey?" she would ask. "Yes, Mom," I would lie. I just had no energy, no motivation. The sadness was like a heavy blanket I couldn't take off. One afternoon, I was walking home from work. I saw a couple walking ahead of me. They were holding hands. They were laughing. The man leaned over and kissed the woman's cheek. It was such a simple, happy moment. And it felt like a knife in my chest. I started to cry, right there on the street. I had to duck into a small alley so people wouldn't see me. Why couldn't I have that? What did I do wrong? Was I not good enough? Was I not pretty enough? Was I not interesting enough? Liam's choice made me question everything about myself. It destroyed my confidence. I thought about him with her. Sarah, were they happy? Was he laughing with her now? Was he holding her hand? The thoughts were like poison. They tortured me, especially at night. I knew I needed to stop thinking about them, but I couldn't. 1 month after he left, I got a letter in the mail. It was from Liam. My hands shook as I opened it. It was a long letter. He wrote about how sorry he was, how he never meant to hurt me. He wrote that he was confused and a coward. He wrote that I deserved happiness. He wrote that he and Sarah were trying to make it work. Reading that part hurt the most. It was real. They were together. At the end of the letter, he wrote, "I hope one day you can forgive me." Forgive him? I wasn't sure I could. The anger came back, strong and hot. A coward. Yes, he was a coward. He let me plan a whole wedding. He let me dream of our future. All while he was talking to her. All while he was confused. He didn't have the courage to tell me the truth sooner. He waited until the last possible moment. He broke my heart, but he also wasted my time. He humiliated me. I tore the letter into tiny pieces. I threw them in the trash. I didn't want his apology. It felt too late. It felt empty. I decided then that I would not let him have any more of my tears. I would not let him destroy me. It was a small decision, but it felt important. It was the first step. The first step towards healing. The healing process was slow. very slow. It was not a straight line. Some days were good. I would wake up and not think about him first thing in the morning. I would meet Jessica for coffee, and we would laugh about something silly. I started reading more. Getting lost in stories was a good escape. On those days, I felt a little bit of hope. Maybe I could be happy again. Then there were the bad days. Days when the sadness came back like a big wave. I would see something that reminded me of him. A song on the radio, a couple in the park, and the pain would feel fresh all over again. On those days, I let myself be sad. I learned that it was okay to cry. It was okay to not be okay. Healing is not about being strong all the time. It's about being gentle with yourself. I started a new routine. I started walking in the evenings, just walking through my neighborhood, looking at the houses, the gardens. It helped to clear my head. The physical movement helped to release some of the sadness and anger. I started to notice small, beautiful things again. The color of the sunset, the smell of rain on the street. For so long, my world had been gray. Now, I was starting to see color again. I also decided to change the apartment. Our apartment. I couldn't live with the soft blue walls anymore. They were his choice. They reminded me of him. So one weekend, I bought cans of paint. A bright, sunny yellow. Jessica came over to help. We put on old music. We opened the windows. And we painted. We laughed and made a mess. We covered the blue walls with bright, happy yellow. It felt so good. It felt like I was taking my home back, my life back. I started to see my friends more. I had isolated myself after the breakup. I was embarrassed, ashamed, but my friends didn't care about that. They just wanted to see me. We went out for dinner. We went to the movies. Being with people who loved me reminded me that I was not alone. My life was not just about Liam. I had other people. I had a full life before him. And I could have a full life after him. 6 months after he left, I did something brave. I took the wedding dress out of the closet. I looked at it for a long time. It was still beautiful, but it didn't represent a happy dream anymore. It represented a painful memory. I decided to donate it. I found a charity that gives wedding dresses to women who cannot afford them. I packed it carefully in a box. I drove it to the charity shop. As I handed the box to the woman there, I felt a huge weight lift off my shoulders. I was letting go. I was letting go of the broken promise. I was making space for something new. I learned a lot about myself that year. I learned that I am much stronger than I thought. I survived something that I thought would break me completely. I learned that my happiness does not depend on another person. I can create my own happiness. I learned that it is okay to be alone. Being alone is better than being with the wrong person. It has been over a year now. I still live in my yellow apartment. I still work at the bookstore. My life is quiet, but it is a peaceful quiet. It is my quiet. I don't think about Liam every day anymore. Sometimes a memory will pop up, and I feel a little sad. But it's not a sharp pain anymore. It's a dull ache, a scar, a reminder of what I went through, and a reminder of how far I have come. I don't know if he and Sarah are still together. I hope he is happy. And strangely, I think I have forgiven him. Not for him, but for me. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I needed to let it go to be free. I am not looking for love right now. I am focusing on myself, on my friends, on my work. I am learning to love my own company. I am rediscovering Emily, the girl who loves to read, the girl who loves sunny yellow walls, the girl who is kind and strong and resilient. If you are listening to my story, maybe your heart is broken too. Maybe someone left you. Maybe you feel lost and alone. I want you to know that it will get better. I promise. It feels impossible right now. I know, but the pain will not last forever. Be kind to yourself. Let yourself cry. Ask for help from your friends. Do small things that make you happy. One day, you will wake up, and the first thing you think about will not be them. You will see the sun shining, and you will feel a little bit of hope. You are strong. You are worthy of a love that is honest and true. You can do this. Keep going. Your story is not over. The best part is still waiting for you.